You know, the guys have been dragging out some of my old muscle cars that I used to drive in my youth, and this is one of them. I drove this one in high school quite a bit. This is a 427 Corvette, 1967, and no, I don't have any classified documents to go along with this, but it had a tri-power. This is one of the reasons I learned so much about fuel in the early days, because I love tri-powers. I had them on my Mopars, like the 440 and the 340 6-pack. And then of course I have this 67 Vet 435 horse, and I also have a 400 horsepower Corvette, which was a tri-power. I can make these things run like fuel injection just about, but it took a lot of work. You had to figure out how these secondary diaphragms worked and idle control circuits and all that. But when you had them running right, they were pretty awesome. Now, this vehicle was built a long time ago, and this vehicle was built recently. So let's go for a little ride in this one. Here we are inside of this late model JK. It's a pretty standard JK. A little dirty right now because it's been in the shop for a while. But air conditioning, cruise control, tap shift, it all is working. There is something a little bit funny about this Jeep. Let's pull out. It's very mild, as you can see. We're idling at about 600 RPM. It has an 8-speed 8L90 transmission in it. Now you can probably see this thing has a blower sticking out the hood. This is an LT5 engine. It's the first one Mokek has done. I don't remember the horsepower rating on this engine. I think it's about 800, maybe 760, something like that. But it's as mild as can be. Right now I can't really hear the supercharger. It takes quite a bit before that supercharger comes in. This is a really specialty engine. Unlike the Hellcat and some of the others, this has 16 injectors. It has 8 direct injectors and then 8 more port injectors to add fuel to get those higher horsepower numbers. A lot of technology in this engine, but at the end of the day, it's like any other supercharged engine, which means it's really mild to drive. If I didn't know this had a blower in it, I would think it was an LT1 until I got on it, and then of course you would feel that power and hear that supercharger wind up. I do intend to take this on a couple of test drives, probably up to Utah, see how it does on the highway and the mountain grades at high altitude, which I'm sure it will. But it's perfectly at home just putting around on the street like the production Corvette that it comes in. I don't remember the displacement on this blower, but it's quite large. Larger than the LT4, and if you give it just a little bit of throttle, it just comes alive. I don't even know if I was in the blower there. I didn't hear the blower. This blower seems to be pretty quiet. So I look forward to doing a video on this vehicle. It has got stuff all over it. It's got 2 intercooler systems, not just one. We didn't chicken out and just put in one intercooler and one pump. We put in dual intercoolers, dual pumps, tranny coolers. We have a dry sump oiling system with a big can, and we had to fit all this stuff. We had to move the battery in the back. This vehicle's got a lot of stuff in it. We are having a little bit of a discussion of what hood scoop we're going to run. I got a Cobra Jet style hood scoop, which I thought looked really good, but some of the other guys want to put a ZL2 hood on it, like off of a Z28, because it's a Chevrolet. I also like the air grabber hood that Mopar used to run. So if you've got a preference for a hood scoop, go ahead and send it to us. We've got most of these scoops here in the shop, and we're just trying to decide which one looks the best. Kalen thinks just having the thing stick out the hood saying LT5 is pretty cool, but I think we have to be a little bit more discreet than that. So far we've really had no issues with overheating. We did put a lot of cooling into this vehicle. Of course it's winter time, so we don't know what it's going to do when it gets hot out. Really guys, this thing runs just like an LT1. This vehicle's pretty tight. I'm surprised. It's got no rattles and it drives really good. I'm going to be looking forward to driving this on the highway. So stay tuned for that.